Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people, well, welcome back to this Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today marks a very special episode. It is our finale of our April series, Mindful in Presence. You know, today is Wisdom Wednesday. You know, last week I told y'all we was going to be alone, right? I told y'all that it was going to be by myself, that it was going to just be you and I, but guess what? I don't want to say I lied, but I had a nice little gift that came to me Thursday for Ask Nyomi Bridget the Guy podcast, and I had to invite him on. You see, over the past few weeks, we've explored the art of being fully present, the power of breath work, mindful communication, and how reconnecting ourselves can truly transform our lives. And this month has been about grounding, awakening, and honoring every step of our personal journeys. So today we're closing this beautiful chapter with an incredible, powerful conversation about resilience, identity, and self-discovery. And see, and that is why I had to bring him on here. His name is Cesar Cardona. He is so inspiring. He's a mindfulness practitioner, a speaker, and a creative soul who has used his life experience, including overcoming deep adversities, to create a message of hope and healing. And as always, I want to remind you guys to download the free The Year of the Rebirth workbook. Is available. You know where it's at. It's at our website, the Season of Self-Love podcast.com. And you know it's filled with reflections and exercises tied to everything that we explored this month. So make sure you grab it after today's episode. Now, before we get into this topic, let's take a quick break, all right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Join us this May for a groundbreaking series that bridges the gap between love and mental wellness. Love and Mental Health, a powerful 4-part journey exploring the intricate connection between relationships and mental well-being. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, join host Nyomi Banks alongside our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington, health psychologist and owner of Washington Wellness Institute, who brings his expertise to all 4 powerful episodes. Each week, they're joined by remarkable specialists. Week 1, May 1st, author of God's Divine Plans for Marriage and ordained Christian minister, Krista Nicole, tackles dating while managing mental health. Week 2, May 8th, marriage and family therapist Aquila Wheatley, owner and founder of Support Advice, discusses supporting a partner with mental health challenges. Week 3, May 15th, celebrity relationship coach and intuitive energy healer Terry Christie, TV personality and author of The Secret Power of You, explores couples therapy and mental health. Week 4, May 22nd, London-based clinical psychologist and sex/intimacy coach Dr. Lori Beth Bisbay delves into generational mental health and relationships. This powerhouse lineup combines Dr. Washington's ongoing expertise with specialized insights from our weekly guests, offering you a comprehensive approach to mental health and relationships. Whether you're single, dating, or in a committed relationship, this series delivers the tools and understanding you need. Don't miss this life-changing series. Follow Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap on your favorite podcast platform and visit AskNyomi.com to be part of the conversation. Because when it comes to love and mental health, knowledge is power. Always keep it so sexy.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest?
It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, my beautiful people. Well, welcome back. Hey, Cesar. Well, welcome to the season of self-love.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And to all your listeners, thanks for being so warm and welcoming.
Beautiful. I am so excited about this conversation. As I was telling the listeners in the beginning of the episode, is that when we talked on Thursday on the other podcast, I was like, oh, wait, I got to have him on. I know we're at the end of it. And when I saw, yeah, we got to have him on. So this is not only a special treat for them, but it's also a special treat for me. So I thank you for just taking the time out and giving us this day today. Okay.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you very much.
All right. So usually what we do on here is we do a nice little guided meditation to where just help ground us before we get into the topic at hand. And it's pre-recorded. So listeners, you know how we do it. We get real comfortable right now. We close our eyes and get into a nice, comfortable space. I want you to inhale deeply through your nose, filling your lungs with air. I want you to hold on for a brief moment. Now exhale slowly and completely, releasing any tension or stress. I want you to feel your body relaxing with each breath. Now, as you continue to breathe at your own pace, I want you to bring awareness to the present moment and feel the weight of your body grounding you to the earth. I want you to notice any sensation within your body without judgment, just simply observing. Take a deep breath in, drawing in peace and clarity. And I want you to exhale any distractions or worries that may be clouding your mind. With each breath, create space for insights and intuition to flow freely. Now envision a bright light at the center of your being, radiating warmth and wisdom. And with each inhale, allow this light to expand and illuminate your mind and spirit, and feel a sense of calm and serenity in you. Take one final deep breath in, embracing this moment of stillness and inner connection, and exhale slowly, carrying this sense of presence and openness with you as you move forward. So when you are ready, gently open your eyes and carry this feeling of mindfulness throughout your day. You are grounded, you are centered, and open to the insights that await. All right, my beautiful people, if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, it's something we do every day, Monday through Friday. Again, just to ground us before we get into the topic at hand. All right, Cesar, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm very ready.
You very ready?
Very.
All right, so I had the privilege of hearing your powerful story. Would you mind just taking us back just a little bit, just to share with our audience today on your childhood experience and how those challenges you face, how they shape you for today?
Absolutely. Yes. So I was born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Spent the majority of my life there, some in New York. My parents were quite divided. One was Spanish, New Yorker, Republican. The other one was a Black Floridian Democrat. And they were always clashing. They were very aggressive with each other. But I also got those two sides really baked into me. So I spent most of my life not feeling like I could lean one way or the other. They were kind of in a battle within me. At some point, about 10 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles, and those sides were still kind of there, even though I consider myself more liberal than anything else. But it got worse and worse and worse because they were aggressive, with each other. And I took that with me in that division. It was only until I became a Buddhist and spent time with monks that I learned meditation. And then when I learned meditation, you learn mindfulness. And from there, all of those different fabrics turned into one big quilt for me in my life. And I found some peace by way of meditation.
Beautiful. So now for me, I got a little jump start on y'all a little bit for some things. So hearing your story on Thursday and just the diversity that you have been through, how did storytelling and creative expression begin to play a role in your healing process?
So creative expression had always been a part of me since I was 16. I have been always writing music for the most part. I did or played guitar, played piano. I taught myself how to write music, and I was always doing stuff, always doing creative work. So that was always there. Storytelling comes with it as well because you're creating your storytelling, but it wasn't as conscious as it has been lately. I wrote music. I won some singer-songwriter awards in Jacksonville, and I was on television there, so I wanted to go somewhere else. So here I am in Los Angeles. Around that time, things got a little darker. They got a little lighter. They got darker again. But when I ended up being more into music, and then I spent some time in theater school as well, both of those felt like a good creative expression, but they weren't fulfilling enough for me personally. It was only until I got into a pretty bad accident that I had to reevaluate everything in my life. And I found, like I said, Buddhism. And then I found Joseph Campbell. And then I went to a speaking event. And the speaker that was there knew Joseph Campbell when he was alive. Her and I started a conversation in the Q&A part of the talk. And she goes, "You should be standing here. You should be telling your story. You should be speaking stories here." So then she mentored me. And from there, I became a public speaker. And I realized the value of storytelling, and how effective it is and how much we work at it in this society.
Yeah, beautiful. So you Buddhism did that. How did you become a certified mindfulness?
I had to, but it's not by law or by any of that tradition, or I felt like I needed to. It's very easy for me to teach mindfulness or meditation, saying, like, look at these photos with me with all these monks. I learned from the people who made up meditation.
Right.
Great, fantastic. But we also live in a society that has the academic side as well. So becoming a speaker, I knew how beneficial it could be if I had the spiritual and the practical. And in this world, in my opinion, both of those should go together. Right. There's always this conversation of science and religion battling. They say the same thing to me. I don't see any difference, honestly. But I knew if I got that piece of paper that would tie me into both sides, the study behind it and the personal experience behind it.
I love that. So let me ask you, let me say this. Because a lot of times when you think of mindfulness, when you think of meditation, they think it's just one way. They think it's just they think just mindfulness is just a form of meditation. Could you share with us, with my listeners, what mindfulness is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So mindfulness is meditation in action, which, by the way, anything that I say here going forward, I am in no way saying this is the way. I'm letting you know I have found a way, right? This monk told me once, if you find somebody who says they found the way, run a way, which I'm all for, right? Everybody, what I've experienced and what I've seen work with people more so is mindfulness being meditation in action. You sit with mindfulness, you sit with meditation, you understand your thoughts, you understand the concepts of where the thoughts come from, the nature of your mind, and then you start to see how it shows up in your waking life. So you become more aware of those things. From there, you can pick and choose the ones that help you more or less.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. So now let's talk about self-discovery. So you do self-discovery, and that's stepping into your truth. You share with us on Thursday. Why I say Saturday? On Thursday about being a pansexual man. What has your journey been like in terms of embracing your identity, especially in a city like Los Angeles?
From a sexual orientation standpoint?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it has been for me quite invigorating because I had to shake away traditions that were given to me growing up. One side was highly religious. The other side was Republican. And both of those sometimes can be very anti anything straight, if I may. So I had to release that stuff. And I would say the same to you, who you are listening here. You got to find the things that have been given to you that you didn't have a choice to take with you, the stuff you've inherited, what they told you as a kid, and just hold it up to the light. No one's saying you got to disregard it, but hold it up to light and say, does this bring me peace? Does this make me feel happy? So I had to find that. Once I found that, then I started exploring and trying to understand who I am. When I started doing that, I found, how do you say this? The best way for me to find out who I am was to really find out who I wasn't. When I started,
wasn't.
yeah, the removing of oh, this doesn't work for me. Oh, no, I'm not interested in this sort of lifestyle or these groups of people that I've been spending time with, or they like to be promiscuous in a very unsafe environment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not for me, right? Or maybe in some cases, maybe it is for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your journey. But for me, it was really finding out what I was not.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that over time, once I let go of those thoughts from, what my family would think and so on and so forth, it gave me more confidence in finding out who I am. And then I went into the world and wanted to help people be just as confident in their selves as I found for me.
I love that. So let me say this. Us talking, and I have to say this, and I'm sorry, my listeners, but I'm just going to brag a little bit because I did have the chance to sit and talk with him on Thursday, and so I kind of got a little eye of seeing and knowing him just a little bit, and just how courageous his story is, and just even sharing it. So can we go to a spiritual level of it all? I know we talk about sexuality. For me, myself, I started off in the adult industry. Well, I didn't start off in the adult industry, but that's where part of my life was, in the adult industry. And I remember thinking that I would have to lose my connection with God. I thought that because I was told that if I'm doing such and such and such, that I would not have a relationship with God. And I know we had a conversation on God before, but I always been spiritual. So for you, our conversation that we had post the Western for you, would you consider yourself spiritual?
I would. I don't
Okay.
hold on to the title too much. I would. I saw this interesting meme the other day. It showed, and it just resonated with me. Again, not saying this is an absolute. It showed this little this jar, and it said religion on it, and it was inside another jar that said spirituality, and then that was in another jar that said consciousness. And I saw that, and I go, oh, that's me, the consciousness part.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all encapsulated within each other. They all require each other. I come from more a conscious awareness part, and in that umbrella, for me, of course, I'm very spiritual. Very, very much. Yeah, the mystery of the world is fascinating to me.
Yeah, because when you sit and you have these different conversations with everyone, either you religion or not. I believe you shared the other day that you were you saw atheists. What did you? I want to make sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this was early on that you thought that you could have been atheist. Did I hear right?
For 9 years, I was a strict atheist. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. And to come from there to being conscious, spiritual, in awareness, what does that look like?
It's a lot, actually. So most people, the people I've met who kind of went through that same thing, for the most part, they usually will throttle from one end of atheism to quite spiritual or religious, whatever. For me, I was more so feeling like every iteration of me, I should take some of it with me to the next level. I should stop at the gift shop of atheism because I'm on the way out. And then Christianity, of course, because before that I was a Christian. And so the transition was quite hard sometimes, because you have society saying that this one's true, this one's not, but that's just not how it works. That's not how it works at all. These are multiple ways of explaining the mystery of the human experience, and so they all can fit. You have to just learn how to read what's being said. Mm-hmm. Once I understood that, and once I gave myself space to get that, then it all became quite easy for me to be a man of science still, and also experience the human mystery and say things like, I don't know, and I'm going to give it up to God, or Brahma, or Source, or Buddha consciousness, whichever word you want.
Yeah. What I love about that is because that is a part of your self-discovery, and it's a part of learning of who you are, just going from one part of your life and coming to the now. How the one thing is that we talk about in this month is about being in presence, being in the moment. A lot of times we think that we have to think about the past or think about the future, but not living right now in the presence. So for you, with having mindfulness and going through that whole trajectory of your life, what is your life now? What is your moment now? What is your now moment? Does that make sense?
What is it like for me being present?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it's actual eternity. That's actually what eternity is. Everlasting life is still in the band of time. Eternity is beyond time. And when you're thinking about the past, which is already gone, or you're thinking about the future, which is an illusion, you're focusing on things that aren't actually there. But when you're present, you have broken through the concept of time. And that for me is eternity. So in my day to day, to be more practical about it, without question, I give thoughts to my past and I have an acknowledgement of what I need to prepare for a possible future. But my present moment for me the most is everything. And you can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my expression of the world when I'm just here right now.
I love that. You know what I love it because when you say living in my eternity, usually when you hear, and why I say that is because I want to debunk a lot of the things that we've heard or we've learned. Because when people say about eternity, that means that you're dead and gone, or into life. Am I not lying? This is what we were taught, And so when you say that in the living presence right now, is that I'm living my life right now internally, internal. Those are big words. Those are big words. Yeah, just to say, and when I say that, why I'm stumped right now is because we always say we want to be at peace, so we want freedom, but we never say, just saying that we're internal has really put something in me right now that I'm kind of lost the words. Like, wow, I never thought about that, because when I think about that, I think about gone out of this life, out of this body form into another sense. But you can look at it right now as I am a spiritual being. We all spiritual being, and I'm truly living in my now. I'm not looking at nothing else but what it is of me now. Yeah.
That's right. That is it. You listening in, whoever you are, if you just imagine, just think of the image of smoke hovering above water. Now think about the fact that you just thought of that image. That awareness of the thought is what you really are. And not one moment when you saw your thoughts did you think about the past or the future. You were right here. Now, the more you practice that in a sitting meditation or laying meditation or walking meditation, the more you'll start to see it in your active life as well. And that's mindfulness.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for that. My next one is, what advice would you give to our listeners who are struggling to embrace their authentic selves because of external pressures or fears?
Yeah, there's a ton of advice I could give in that way. But the one I always start with constantly, and it was already said on this show actually, is being kind to yourself. That comes first.
Yeah.
The moment you are kind to yourself is the moment you break yourself away from any wins or losses. Both of those have to do with polar opposites. They both are in the realm of time. Be kind to yourself first, and you'll slowly start to see changes occur. You give yourself grace.
Yeah. One thing that you're passionate about that I learned is about your community. How can we build a genuine connection across different backgrounds and experiences?
Staying curious, not judging. Staying curious. The moment you think that you want to judge somebody or say they are whatever, or they did this because they're whatever, instead, just change the wording. I wonder what got them to that scenario. I wonder why they got to this place of believing or doing that thing. You don't have to agree with it. Because you understand something doesn't mean you agree with it. But you will get a lot further if you seek understanding instead of judgment. And how do you do that? You're curious.
I stay curious, man.
It also makes life a big wonder. It's one big playground at some point. You're like, oh, really? This too? Cool.
Yeah. So my next question is what do you have going on for you now? Like what's now for Cesar Cardona? Like what do you have now? What you have now going on with your public, your community, everything? I know before you said you had a podcast. Talk about that one.
A couple things. Yeah. So I have a podcast. My partner and I, my girlfriend, we have a podcast together that just came out a little over a month ago. It's called Beauty in the Break. And it is stories about resilience during tough times. We take on different topics. We talk about our life stories and how we found the beauty within all of it. The cracks is where the lights come through, right? So we talk about that. I'm also mentoring a group of middle school and high schoolers on their robotics club. This school, they build robots and then the robots go and compete. They're very intellectually adept, but sometimes they need a little help with speaking and confidence. So I mentor them with that. In addition to that, I'm working on a book called Growth Mindfulness. It's how we can live in this world as being more rooted in ourselves and being calm and not overwhelmed while still having a creative or a work output that will continue to grow for you.
Beautiful. If you had one last word to say, to share with my listeners, what would that be?
Well, I already said be kind to yourself, and that's usually what I end on. So let me just grab another one really quick here. Every single thing you need is already within you. All the external things are bonus. Everything you need lives within you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I didn't know this was going to be so short today.
I mean, I got more time if you got more time.
I really didn't. And let me tell you why, guys. I mean, I guess maybe because I've heard everything, and I want you guys to truly hear everything that this man has to offer, because he really does have a lot to offer. I think I was feeling that I didn't get it in movies that asked Nyomi Bridging the Gap. We just got to hear your amazing story, but this is now I hear the aftermath of everything that's given to that you're giving out to the world, through your journey in life. I guess one of my biggest questions is for you is that, and I know this is going to be a hard question to ask because I know you live in the now, but if you can leave a legacy behind, what would that legacy be?
It is a hard question, very hard. I'm quite torn. I'm still human in this capacity. You did make a point about being in the adult film industry and being spiritual and how they seem separate. For me, they are just different rungs of the chakra ladder. I don't necessarily follow chakras, but a lot of people do. Yeah. So I'm using it as a comparison. Yeah. You need that sexuality side, and it's animalistic. I'm not saying it's less than. It's a thing that we have in this world. Yeah. It's the same thing that makes you look left and right before you cross the street, and that you're hungry and that you need love and all of those. And you can let yourself know how you are part of this larger picture. Yeah. So I think they both go together in that sense. That being said, the two separate sides for me are speaking. There are a lot. The one side of me that would look left or right to make sure I'm okay when I'm crossing the street is saying that I would love methods of thoughts out in the world that people will grab. Oh, that I know that technique. That's the Cardona technique. Oh, that's Cesar's be kind to yourself method or something like that. Yeah. I would absolutely love that. That would be fantastic. And also I'm open to let it go if I need to. The other side of me says the exact opposite. And that's the yin and the yang, right? That's sun, moon, summer, winter, fall, spring. That's everything. We have nothing but opposites playing along with each other. So that being said, the other part of me feels like I would love it to just be adored by the thought of whatever beauty I found in the world. This every day for me feels like magic. I can't express how amazing it feels, how peaceful I am. The byproduct of peace is joy and happiness and bliss. I don't chase those three. I chase peace. And what it's giving me to see how precious every moment is, I would love it if every person in the world gathered that and recognized it. And if it came at the cost of everyone saying, we don't know where we got it from, great.
Right.
Worth it. 100% worth it.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. I didn't think you were going to say that, but thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Everybody wants their claim to fame. I totally understand it. I'm writing this book, and one of my friends who's an entrepreneur, he's like, you got to change the name. You got to put Caesar's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, come on. He's like, you got to. It works. Pavlov's dog, Pascal's wager. Like, they have all these names behind it. Darwin's theory of evolution. Okay, fine. But the other part of me is like, nah, dog, this is temporary. Let them have the thing and let it reiterate. I don't need to pick my name, So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'll try for both.
You battling with that humbleness.
I also live in Los Angeles, so it's like gosh, like you got to be a little more confident about yourself. And I get it. I'm trying to mix it in with that humility at the same time. It's hard.
Beautiful. Well, Cesar, thank you. Thank you for taking the time in this moment just to talk with me again. To talk with me again and just share your gifts. Really,
Thank
truly.
you. Thank
Again,
you.
you are a light. And I want you to know that you are truly a light and continue to keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for saying that. That means the world to me. You are the epitome. You're the exact example of a goddess. And I'm honored that you had me on your show the other day and also here as well. I'm beyond grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure, really. When I tell my listeners here all the time, if I ever have an opportunity to sit in light with someone else that can give me a message or give me light and know that they can give someone else light, man, we're bringing them aboard because we are all going through this self-love journey together. You know what I mean? Some might be a little further than others, but we're here together going through this thing called life. And now we're doing it in a different kind of way. Now we're being more aware. You know what I'm saying? More accountable for things, and understanding what it really means is that if we don't love ourselves, we can't do shit for nobody else. And that is the honest to God truth.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It is. So again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. To my listeners here, next month, we are stepping into a brand new series called Creative Inner Expressions. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be a month of unlocking joy, inspiration, and limited love. So until next time, you guys have an amazing, amazing day. Remember, be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovering and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.